everyone, welcome back to Back in a
I'm not even gonna try that because I heard myself last week. I was off key. But yes, welcome to the show where we recap Drag Race, especially Drag Race Philippines, Season 3 from a Pinoy queer superfan lens because
Beka naman pwede, diba? And before we start this week's recap, gusto lang po naming pasalamatan ang mga tao for just the great reception of our first episode. We moved, it's our first time to just really go all out sa YouTube, and thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for all the reception you've been giving our YouTube uploads. We have been kind of semi-uploading from time to time our video podcast on YouTube, but like that first episode, the reception that y'all gave that, it's kind of encouraging us to keep doing it.
Correct. Marami pong salamat. So, nakita mo namin ng mga comments nyo, especially the ones that try to hurt us. Charing! But we also want to thank, of course, Absolute Vodka dahil nandito na naman po tayo sa Absolute Lounge in Distillery BGC, and we got our Absolute drinks with us. So, for this episode,
are our espresso martinis.
Correct.
And as an alcoholic and a caffeine-dependent girl, these are my two favorite kicks.
But you know, we are still drinking responsibly, so let's go recap this. That's good.
Ooh, that hit all the spots.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay, so let us recap the episode. We start episode 2 with basically after the non-elimination.
Yes, after the non-elimination. Ang dami ko nakitang like Twitter comments na parang na Mandela effect ako sa inyo dito. Because first up, hindi ko alam kung anong trip namin that day. Now, right before we got ready to get back into the workroom, parang may bumulong, "Che, palitan tayo ng mga wigs." So, pumasok kami looking all ridiculous. Nagpalit-palit kami yung mga wig, mga bakla.
Suot mo yung wig ni Yudi.
Yes, kaya ako na-mention na mabigat yung wig ni Yudi kasi dyan ko nga pala nasuot yun.
Correct. Tapos si Yudi is wearing Maxie's parang hat or headpiece ba yun? Yun.
Bench is wearing my wig. I think Maxie is wearing somebody else's wig but backwards. As in, pure kagaguhan siya.
Basically, it's a wig party. And then we get our very first, post-critique couch with everybody there as we move on to the next episode. Of course, si Kiana, very, very happy. And we're also very happy for Kiana for winning the first Rue badge of the season. Deserve na deserve. And
yes,
then,
Zimba was not bitter, definitely.
Not bitter at all?
She's not bitter. Girl, that edit, that came out of nowhere.
I know.
Medyo nauga ako ng super cut of Zimba declaring herself wanting to be the winner.
Correct. Grabe yung editors, talagang meron silang ebidensya na parang iba yung sinabi mo actually at ito po ang exhibits A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Diba?
I mean, having been in the filming, I'm not surprised that she said that because she does kind of say that, but as a kind of banter, parang that's just her Zimbaism of manifesting. Pero yung super cut, parang ako, oh girl, they got her with that one.
Correct. But I actually want this. I want somebody who says like they want to win because, not everybody can say it or not everybody can back it up. And I personally think that Zimba like has what it takes to go the distance and to kind of like when Zimba says she wants to win, ako naniniwala akong kaya niya.
Yeah, exactly. Parang if a person is confident and they have the goods to back it up, like, why not let that person be confident, right?
Correct. And then we get Kiana and Ver hugging it out. I'm not sure kung ako lang, but I remember this, parang hindi siya parang total final apology. Baka siguro ceasefire lang. Is there anything you can provide to better contextualize what we saw? But I'm just happy din sila nagsisigaw.
Well, as the resident psychologist, I said this in the Untalked of episode 1. Pero parang nagkaroon talaga sila ng understanding na they weren't mad at each other specifically. Hindi sila magkagalit as people. It was more like they triggered each other.
Got it.
And it got to a point, it got very heated. Dahil na rin siguro sa alak, the tensions in the moment. Talagang nagkaputukan yung dalawang bakla. But I think they understood that lang talaga, it was hurt feelings, but it wasn't, they were coming after each other.
You know what they say? Hurt people, hurt feelings. Charing. Hurt
that
people.
Part.
That part. Hurt people. But, nakakatuwa na because nakita natin si Kiana and si Ver. We were all together last night lang sa viewing party. Like, nakakatawa because they just reference the most and just have fun at it. I like seeing them being like very, very close and just having a laugh and know na parang between the two of them, they're pretty solid now.
There's a clip going around on Twitter now. We were live backstage right before we did the meet and greets of them reenacting what happened during the Untucked. Tapos para si Ver talaga, Kiana kasi, bakit mo ako tinawag na insecure? Parang they role reverse. Essentially saying the same thing but role reversing na si Kiana yung Eming galit, si Ver yung parang tameme. Tapos parang, I'm just watching again.
Pero we get the new iconic catchphrase from Ver, basically saying, breakdown saglit, jakol na malupet, bounce back ulit. I mean, that is just how you recover from a setback. Wala nang phoenix rising from the ashes. Meron na tayong Ver and the Jakol inspirational quote.
Correct. Pag frustrated ka, daan mo sa Jakol. Ganun lang yun. Okay, now of course, a brand new day in the workroom. Brand new day in the workroom.
And then we get a room-mail. And then I think sa room-mail pa lang naman maririnig mo na, you know, a design challenge is afoot, that it is gonna be a ball. While you are hearing this, as a student of the game, I'm sure your creative juices started getting excited already.
I was gagging in the best way. As soon as sinabi nila ball, I'm like, this early? Are you sure? Are you sure? But yeah, I love making looks. I don't always do because like time management, but like I love making my own looks. So when they said a ball, I was like, okay,
let's do this.
Okay, game, ito na yan.
But before we move on at bago sabihin ni Mama Pao kung ano ang ating maxi challenge for the week, tayo muna ay magmi-mini challenge. At ito ay ang design your own chinelas that will eventually not matter because ang mini challenge ay tumbang preso.
Alam nyo ba, ang dami-dami sa aming kinarir yung pag-design ng chinelas niya. As sabi ko talaga, I'm gonna color coordinate I'm gonna get all of the pink abubots and stick it into my thing. Tapos may nahanap pa akong parang like, this like, pink crystal chandelier spike. Tapos, I found a way talaga itusok doon sa chinelas. Tapos, wala rin siyang point.
Wala rin point.
Hindi na-feature ang mga design.
So, para tipong, okay, so all that for nothing. But you know, we have to fill a 1-hour show here. Pero natawa lang ako kasi Mama po talaga sinabi niya, actually, wala. Niloko lang namin kayo.
Correct.
But we get into the tumbang preso of it all. And I think by this time, alam na nung queens na it's not so much parang fulfilling the challenge. Yeah. Yes, that is good because that is 20,000 pesos. But I think it's still about who makes the most meme-worthy moment while they are trying to do the mini challenge.
For me, personally, one of the best parts of Drag Race Philippines is that we get to play childhood games as a mini challenge. As in, literal na naglalaro lang kami as a mini challenge. Nung sinabing tumbang preso, it brought me back to my childhood. It brought me back to the weekends, I'd visit my extended family in Baliwag, Bulacan. Tapos naglalaro kami sa kalsada. At alam mo, mga bata, nagkakapiko na nagkakaiyakan dahil sa laro. It brought me back to those days. And I was really just like, game, tumbang preso, laro tayo mga bakla, let's go!
Ang standout for me dito is si Zimba. Kasi parang siya, actually hindi talaga ako magtutumbang preso, guys. Mag-split lang talaga ako. And tawang-tawa lang ako sa kanya. Kasi parang, she knew what to do. And parang, like, there are 11 of us here, you know, I may not win the mini challenge, pero baka ako yung pinakamagaling mag-split date.
Girl, in for episode 2, the most awardee is Zimba Ding in the mini challenge.
Pero nakakatawa rin yung si Angel basically trying to be like nonchalant about it. But I think ang pinaka-favorite rin so far, merong vocal minority ngayon sa internet saying na nung nagtumbang preso ka daw, ang puti daw ng kilikili mo.
Oh, well, I mean, thank you. Thank you so much. Parang I tried to have fun, but also if they said last week that they could see it in my eyes that I was calculated. Girl, as in, naalala ko talaga yung kabataan ko sa Bulacan na parang me and my cousins were like very competitive with each other with the games. Talagang bumalik ako dun sa mindset na, hindi ako papatalo dito, amin na to. I mean, I did pretty well, pero sayang naman, 20K, wala pa din.
Sana all may kabataan, right? But
pinanganak ka bang matanda?
Ang winner ng mini challenge natin ay si Versex. So nakakatawa lang because to be fair, grabe yung one attempt lang, right?
Batang Santa Ana.
Tapos I think we got this confessional from John saying na, New York, Diyos ko, batang kalye yan.
At we got a confessional from Versex na parang, Samgyup milk tea, avail all para sa sisters ko. Versex nasaan?
Correct, manlibre.
Versex cash in na kami.
Manlibre. Okay. And then, ito na nga, sinabi na ang inyong Maxi Challenge for the week is the sustainable. First of all, props to the writing team of Drag Race Philippines because nung preview pa lang from last week na ang pangalan ng ball ay sustainable, tawang-tawa na ako. I think it is peak pun. So, kung sino man nakapagsulat nun, props to you, mama.
So yeah, we are getting the sustainable. And the twist this time is rather than doing 2 runways in a row, or like 3 runways in a row as is typical of a ball challenge, ang pinagawa sa amin, we had to do 1 runway first with a look that we brought from home. And then a design challenge that we're going to make in the workroom na hindi pa sinabi sa amin agad yung brief.
I think nung una parang, okay, medyo bagong format to.
Yes.
But I think from the performer standpoint, I think this is ultimately a better outing of the design challenge. Only because you get to perform once, and then kumbaga alam mo na yung binigay mo doon. So now it's up for you to either make up for something na feeling mo hindi masyadong maganda, or maybe elevate what you've already done sa round 1, which I feel like is what you did, which we will get into later.
Plus, it's like an advantage of you don't have to stick to the same makeup look, or you don't have to use the same makeup look as a backbone.
Correct.
Hindi yung parang, kasi usually what girls do from one look to the other, magpapatong lang sila eh. Now, because you don't have the time limit of having to do the transition from one look to the other, some of the girls were able to do drastically different makeup looks, different like eye shapes, different, parang may mga naka-rhinestone pa nga nakila in that first runway, and then in the second runway, we didn't have to do the same. So kumbaga parang mas may creative freedom kami in how we choose to do our makeup looks.
Yes.
So for our first category, we have the Sari Sari Store Couture runway, and our set on Drag Race is transformed into Sari Sari ni Aling Jiggly. And can I just say I love this setup? Parang it felt more relaxed. Ang funny ng banter.
Yes.
Mama Pao and Jiggly, in like isolated 2 of them and being able to just banter ng more freely was so much more fun to watch. As in, na-GV ako dun sa parang in-character banter pa nilang dalawa.
And I think the reason why this feels more playful is, I think this is very close to like an Itbulaga sketch, diba? Na parang may performer in front, may nagko-commentary. So I think this is something very, very familiar kay Mama Pao. And I think si Jiggly then, you know, she is essentially co-creating the scene with you guys. And I think it resulted in a lot of really, really funny moments.
Sorry. So first up, we have Angel bringing plastic spoons and what I think are plastic sandbags with this like parang siyang mermaid. Parang medyo mermaid inspired with a wet red hair. Tapos ito nga, ayun nga yung red glitter eyebrows niya. What do you think of this look?
I personally like this look. I like it because, you know, I guess I have some familiarity with the Angel brand. You know, she is a bombshell, na very baby girl, but you know, you cannot mess with her. So I think all that, nakita ko sa pagbenta niya ng garment.
Yes.
But also when I look at the garment, I'm not sure kung siya nakuha nung comment na to, but yes, baka hindi spoons ang go-to imagery mo when it comes to Sari Sari Store. Yeah. So that might have something to do with it. So it might be off-brief, but I think kung naging ibang category to, this was actually a very strong look for Angel.
I actually really liked it. Siguro ako, I would have liked it. Well, I mean, as you know, I have a love for like character drag. I would have loved it a bit more if she kind of made the silhouette lean a little more into mermaid territory para talagang bentang-benta yung basa look niya. And then next up, we have Tita Baby. And I don't know, this wig reminds me of Brigading's promo wig.
Gets.
Like from Drag Race Season 1,
I see
diba?
that.
But Tita Baby is serving this pink dress with all sorts of anik-anik and knickknacks of all Tita Baby branded goods on her dress. What do you think of this look?
I think for me, this was a safe look. I think that the Tita of it all, I think is missing in the design.
Yeah.
Because I think the silhouette versus I think kung ano yung gagawin niya sa design challenge, for me, mas closer yon to the Tita Baby brand. But for me, this was a rather safe design, especially coming from last week's clear win, diba, dun sa kanyang baha look.
Ako, for me, what really sold the look is yun nga, parang na-mention ito yung listahan ng mga jutang, which is, you know, basically in Filipino culture, you're basically buying a product without paying for it yet. you're taking a loan of goods from the sari-sari store.
Siguro kaya hindi nag-resonate sa akin kasi tinuruan ako ng magulang ko wag mangutang. Kaya parang...
Ayun, parang, I wish she leaned more into that listahan of utang
Correct.
idea.
Correct.
Parang, it seemed very much like an afterthought tagged on,
Uh-huh.
but the afterthought had a stronger idea than the dress itself. So I feel like if maybe she had come up with that idea a little earlier on in the execution or incorporated it a bit stronger, it would have made a bigger impact rather than kind of wearing a sari-sari store.
Pero ang maganda kasi kay Tita Baby, yung voice-over na nilalagay niya sa presentation, it really elevates the concept a lot. So if you really just look at the design, parang you may not get the full Tita Baby experience, but when you have the writing, the voice-over there, it's really tita-fied.
There's really an argument of sometimes like a look shouldn't have to be explained, but sometimes context does enrich a look.
Correct. Enrich is the operative term. Up next, we have Yudipota giving us... What is it giving?
It's giving like evil scientist. Parang it's giving like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of concept. What I like about this is she took the materials, which are sari-sari store materials, but turned it into a silhouette that parang, if I remember correctly, the brief specifically was, make a look out of recycled materials from a sari-sari store. Hindi naman sinabi kailangan magmukha kang from a sari-sari store.
Okay.
So, I like Yudipota's approach. As a Yudipota defender, I liked her idea of this look. I feel like the silhouette could just maybe have been a bit more clear-cut. Parang, the nitpickiest comment. Na lost in translation lang ako na very slight dun sa lab coat with the cutouts of the, and then you see the inner. Parang I feel like if the silhouette or the way that the different materials were presented could have been more clear cut. And up next we have Pop Star Bench or Pop Straw Bench.
Correct.
Using plastic sandbags once again, a trend alert, plastic sandbags and straws to make this entire like evening gown moment. And I love this silhouette. I love the idea of this look na as in talagang you get the sari-sari store feel, you get the recycled material, but it's a gown.
Yes.
She went for a full gown.
I really, really love this because I think it is on brief. It is something you would expect, but like done exquisitely, which I feel like is always a great thing to kind of receive when you are watching Drag Race. And what I particularly love about this is because, last week nakuha natin kay Bench na parang maybe the storyline for Bench is really trying to break out of that Sarah Geronimo space of it all. And I think 2 episodes in, she's able to do that successfully. And with this look, I think she's on that great trajectory.
Yes.
Ito, up next, J. Quinn. Aba, gusto ko ba ng sari-sari store, ng clear imagery? Ito talaga. I actually really, 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 really love this look. I think it is ang ganda ng detalye, especially yung Crocs na merong heel, and then unang tingin mo pa lang, maganda yung silhouette, kakaiba. Pag tingin mo agad yung details, agad yung imagery of the sari-sari store. So I think for me, this was a very, very, very strong look from Ajuma J. Quinn.
Yes, ayun nga, parang when she was explaining it na she's the Ajuma, like basically tindera ng Korean store, and then she comes out with this puffer jacket made of all different sachets, tapos like this jumpsuit made out of flour sacks yata or rice sacks. Tapos sinamahan pa niya ng detail na naka-visor siya, na may fanny pack siya, na naka-crocs siya na may heel. Ate, by the way, palalamove mo na sa akin yung Crocs with heels na yan. I need that. Ito yung we get the best of both worlds. Of you get the sari-sari store,
yes,
but you still get the fashion concept of it.
Correct. I think, with J. Quinn, we get a lot of inventiveness sa designs. I think medyo underreported story siya because a big part of it is clouded by, last week's drama. But I really feel na there's a very, very, exciting energy lagi sa design si J. Quinn, and I think it was displayed in that first look that we just saw.
Next up, we have Maxi, which this look is giving me slight PTSD, which we will get into later. But basically, she is serving you silver fantasy with this dress, with this parang pageant high slit dress made out of tansans, which are glass bottle crowns, the metal crowns we use for glass bottles, the inner foils of junk food packaging, mga plastic chip bags. it's beautiful.
I like this, especially the silhouette, because I think, this is basically Maxi Das Eleganza. So I really like this. Of course, nung unang, first few seconds of the look coming down the runway, again, as a non-drag artist, sabi ko, nasan yung sari-sari store imagery? But the moment we got a little bit of a close-up, I was like, oh, Tansan. I'm like, yes, that's the one. It is on brief.
This is what I love. When you use unconventional materials, you have so much more power to create structure out of it rather than when you use fabric. Kasi pag fabric, kailangan mo ng parang pelon, kailangan mo ng boning. When you use conventional materials, a lot of them can stand and be structured on their own. And Maxi made the most use out of that by adding that parang skirt flounce thing, tapos this giant silver rose on her head. I love this look. Pero may PTSD nga ako, mamayaya.
Up next, we have John Fideliaga. This is giving me Fanny Bryce, funny girl, ready to take on the big stage and make the big dream happen. And, you mentioned this kanina, something about John, just every time she presents, there is a certain effervescence na I feel like maybe mas unique to her in the cast.
Oo, parang, underreported story so far na maganda talaga siya. As in, siya yun talagang bilat. As in, woman, the drag makeup is so soft and tastefully done. It is giving woman. And then, her personality shines through with just her presentation na she's so naturally funny even without trying to do anything.
Yes. And I saw that in person sa viewing party last night. You can easily call it parang a number na naglakad lang siya. Pero,
paulit-ulit nga lang yung kanta eh.
Paulit-ulit yung kanta, paulit-ulit yung lakad. Pero you were just looking at her the whole time.
Sa verbatim ko nga sa episode, enamored.
Correct. Meron tayong, ano ang bagong word ni Mix for the week? So, enamored.
And this silhouette, again, when you use unconventional materials, you have more structure to work with kasi mas may rigidity. And ginamit niyo yun with giving this parang baby doll skirt na parang may flounces and basta ang ganda, especially in person. Especially with the styling na parang meron siyang bag, parang siyang new girl in town vibe. It was exquisite.
Up next, we have Zimbading. Na, can I just say, when this look walked down the runway, I was getting Brigading episode 5 flashbacks with just blonde hair and then pink na dress yung nung meron, diba?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I was getting that. Tapos sa voiceover pa niya, sabi niya, ang inspiration pa niya, yung mom niya. So parang, wait, are we talking about Brigading here? But eventually, sinabi na, okay, as in biological mom. Silhouette is, I think it's fine, but something about the look, I think, from yung torso hanggang dito, it looks a little unfinished only because sobrang ganda nung detalye nung skirt. So parang I feel like kailangan habulin nung drama nung skirt, everything else.
Well, I kind of came for this look in Anta. Our brief was to make a look out of unconventional recycled materials. And when I saw this look, the color palette is really good, pero nakita ko talaga in person, these were branded items printed on fabric and then cut into the same size and shape and sewn. Basically, they were pillows rather than being actual products.
You really did come for her with that comment.
They were pillows.
It was a very short soundbite, but my God, was it loaded and very much emotionally charged.
I wasn't, in the moment, but I'm not coming for the look. I'm not saying it's a bad look. I'm just saying na parang, in terms of the briefing, it was off-brief. But I also get your comment na parang, alam mo, if she translated that, if she used actual products and gave that silhouette and added maybe a bit more on the shoulder or something, parang just to balance out. Because everything was on the skirt.
But parang it had the makings of a really stellar look. Yeah. It's basically what I'm trying to say. But now, speaking of stellar, up next, we have Kiana. Now, can I just say...
My favorite look.
Aside
from myself.
I think ang maganda rin sa ginawa ni Kiana because yung silhouette niya is so exaggerated and dramatic. Paglabas pa lang niya ng runway, may uga factor na siya. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a great look coming from the pauga niya last week. We know her to be very energetic, very electric, and then to come out episode 2 with this first look, it's so rock and roll. Yun yung gusto ko sa kanya kasi parang na-transcend niya yung sari-sari store items, na-transcend niya yung napakagandang silhouette into just this really, really, really badass performance.
Plus, just the whole concept of using sari-sari store goods that were spicy, specifically only spicy flavored mga junk foods and chichirya for a look that was, Even her earrings were like,
Sile.
That attention to detail got me really good.
Uh-huh.
And when I saw her, as sabi talaga, like, she is my favorite look from our, aside from itself, she's my favorite look from our set on this runway. And up next, we have Versace. I love the way Mama Pao says our name.
Versace!
This is, I think, polarizing.
I think it is.
So, like, from the reception of the judges and the audience, it was polarizing. But I was living for this as someone that, appreciates a concept. When Versex told me na parang siya ang paloadan, like, pasa load sa sari-sari store, cash in, cash out sa sari-sari store. I was living. And this, the kind of parang feather boa of 1,000 peso paper bills that she has, she made that in the room.
Oh, wow!
She made that in the room, girl.
Damn, she started the design challenge early.
Yes, girl. She was really like, she had a concept that she wanted to execute right before the runway. She did it.
Yeah. Ako naman, I'm gonna be honest, parang sakto lang siya.
Yeah.
Parang it was safe. It wasn't bad. It also wasn't, it's so bad it's good. I feel like there's chatter online saying that it's really bad and I don't think it is. Yun lang. I wish she would have played with the hair more because watching the video now, the hair or parang playing with the hair, I think could have elevated it even more.
Yeah. Ako naman parang, I don't know, I guess I was just gagged by the fact that she had like actual, yung mga display phones to like these phones have actual weight. They might not have real working screens, but they have actual weight. That dress was heavy. She walked in it like it was nothing. And I don't know, maybe I was lost in the concept and I liked it.
And then up next, we have Mix Chanel. I mean, let me just be biased again because like this for me is, first of all, ang ganda. Kita mo agad yung tawag dito, visual cues ng, I know you're referencing Mountain Dew, but of course, I know you're also referencing a particular mutant in this particular look.
I'm referencing a few Marvel and DC characters, but I guess the main ones that really inspired me was Amora the Enchantress. Is mga naging kalaban ni Thor. I loved her like very Barbarella bombshell silhouette. Yes. And I was also referencing Green Fury because I love the way that she's basically like Human Torch but green and a female. So that was kind of like my references for this look.
I love the Barbarella of it all because I think it's a great departure from what you usually serve, but it's still very much on brand. So
this was one of the isa to sa mga pinakahuling look concepts that we nailed down. We explored a bunch of different
ano yung mga in-explore mo? Because ito pala yung nung nagpa-post ka sa close friends mo, nang hingi ka ng mga takip ng Mountain Dew, bote ng Mountain Dew. Sabi ko, anong meron? Anong meron?
Parang, I went through different like designs with Paul, who I was consulting with Paul for some of my runway looks. I was also consulting Job Dakan specifically for this one. I think there was a parang, I explored the idea of like a cyberpunk, augmented human idea. I was exploring the idea of like a Junkrat Gundam robot. But eventually, ayun nga, Job inspired me to do something with the neon plastic of Mountain Dew bottles, and then kinomplement ko na lang with like other colors of plastic soda bottles. Na-inspire kasi ako, usong-uso yung sa mga Jeep, di ba? Yung parang Mountain Dew na plastic trees in Jeeps. Parang it felt very like a Filipino hue for me. So I was very much inspired by that.
But also for me, my favorite part of this is you interacting with Mama Pao and Jiggly because, nakikinig ka sa judges, sabi nila, loosen up, you're too calculating, and then nirevise mo agad, in-address mo agad the day after. So parang, I mean, you're like a sponge. You're obviously a drag race nerd. And for me, yun talaga yung tipong, oh, this bitch knows what she is doing.
Right before I went on stage, I think it was Versace was on stage and I was whispering to like the backstage people, parang, nagagalaw po ba yung props? Are the props stacked down to the sari stores that they were like, no, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna steal that. And then I also did a stupid thing that didn't make it to airing. Siguro baka hindi siya nag-translate as well on camera. But during the runway, so I have this like sticker, right? On my outfit,
yung Supernova mix na nakalagay.
The Mountain Dew logo. I did a reveal I took off the sticker to reveal into the same sticker. So baka nila siya nag-translate sa TV kaya they edited it out. I remember parang, alam mo yung natawa sila na napabobohan sila sa nangyari. I remember...
They wanted you to loosen up so you gave them stupid. I think that's just how it is.
Hi.
Pero yun nga, nakakatawa kasi you stealing yung paninda, you know, it was remarkable to the judges because they took note of it come the critiques later on. So, palakpakan na. Dapat ganyan, nakikinig tayo sa critiques agad-agad, ina-apply natin agad, di ba?
And that is it for the Sari Sari Store Couture Runway. Before we go back to the workroom, let us take our break for this episode.
See you in a bit. And we are back sa aming second segment for this week's episode 2 recap. At kita nyo naman, ayos na kami ng set. Kami po nagbuhat nito actually.
Yes, actually. Charot. We just prepared the set for a very special guest interview later on. Pero mamaya na yun, abangan nyo na lang.
Ito na nga tayo. Let's go na to the second part of the episode. And it was revealed na pagkatapos ng first look,
Girl.
may design challenge bigla. Like, how shocked were you?
We didn't know the brief beforehand, diba? So, we just went back into the workroom. We were in our drag. Tapos, binrief lang kami na parang, okay, queens, secure your safety, ganyan. So, yung ibang mga bakla, such as myself, nakatanggal na ng shoes. Kasi nga, what happened was, they rolled in this cart pile of trash at sinabi sa amin na, syempre, like, as usual, as a lot of design challenges are, kailangan mag-agawan.
Correct.
And Versex got a 10-second head start. Si bakla, kinalahati na yung pile. I mean, give natin, smart siya doon. Use your 10-second advantage to your advantage. But,
eto nga, okay, nung nakita ko na yung mga bakla, sinugod na yung materials for the design challenge. Of course, I was a little worried kasi, di ba, like, di ko alam, Vinyas infamously, di ba, dito ata nag-start yung kanyang injury. Sabi ko, oh my God, Mick Chanel, yung katawan mo, yung utang na loob, alagaan mo. And masyado mo atang inalagaan kasi parang hindi ka nakipag-agawan. So, we saw that clip of you na parang, sige, mauna na kayo.
So, ayun nga, agawan. So, pagka, syempre, kalahati na lang, onti lang natira para sa amin. So, yung mga bakla, mas naging intense. Pagka dive namin ganun, may kukunin na dapat ako. Syempre, I mean, not naman to blame anyone, but, the girls, we are fighting for our lives here. I mean, it's, the end of the episode is now the lip sync for your life for a reason. We're fighting for our lives. Pagka ganun ko, may nag-dive kasabay ko, may naramdaman akong gumasgas dito, parang ako, syempre, ang una ko reaction,
correct,
preservation, pumiglas akong ganon. Pagka ganon ko, nakita ko wala na laman yung card. So parang ako, anong gagawin natin? Anong gagawin natin for today's episode? Di, wala.
Nga. And even with that, you still ended up with what you will eventually show on the runway. So, I mean, she is an artsy queen,
Girl.
a crafty queen, but pwede rin po siyang silent klepto.
Sinabi nga, in the world of theater, we have this principle called beg, borrow, and steal. I was trying to, namamalimos ako sa girls for their materials, pero syempre, hindi pa sila nakakapag-sort out from their pickings. Sabi ko na, nag-negotiate ako. Sabi ko, okay, let's do what we can with what we have. Sabi ko, kung ayaw nyo bigay sa akin yung laman, pwedeng akin lang yung plastic bag.
Wow, literally nanlimus ka, dear.
Girl, nanlimus ako. So, nakuha ko na yung garbage bag. That's how I ended up with the garbage bag corset. Tapos, syempre, habang distracted yung mga bakla sa ginagawa nila, paikot-ikot ako quietly around, okay, demo. Paikot-ikot ako quietly around the workroom. May basahan dun.
Kunin natin.
Kunin. Ay, hala, mga plastic bag, makulay. Go. As in, I was just silently trying to find materials kasi wala akong nakuha during the agawan.
So you pala made the very first ever crowdsourced garment on the history of Drag Race Philippines.
I mean, hindi tayo sure dyan sa mga first na yan.
Ay, correct. Baka masabihin naman tayo, hindi po siya yung first. Oo na, sorry po, hindi naman po kami know-it-all. Calculating lang po kami. Okay.
I mean, it's great that there are other podcasts kasi, there's, in our season specifically, there's 11 pieces to a story and we only get one very mixed side of it. So, but anyway, ayun, parang I just did what I had to do. And at least for me, may atake sa design challenge was, it doesn't matter if you know how to sew. We've seen that time and again on the show. So parang di ko na pinilit to work with a fabric or something that I had to sew. Inisip ko, what I need to do here is structure.
Correct.
Because that's what will translate on the main stage. Sabi ko talaga, dahil inspired ako kay Cheche, dahil inspired ako kay Corazon Filipinas, sabi ko, may chicken wire tayo. So I built the structured parts of my outfit first, and then worked on the garbage bag corset.
Okay, now what I want to know, because clearly, well, based on the edit, ikaw lang yung nag-link nung first look sa second look, and I think that made the difference in terms of really being able to award you the Rue badge this week. How early on in the parang the creative process mo naisip yun?
Naisip ko na parang this episode is really gonna be a flex of my crafting skills, my creativity. Kasi yung first look, I don't know if it was mentioned, di ko nga alam kung na-mention ko siya earlier, but I made the first look also.
Yes, yung Mountain Dew po, siya rin po yun. So, nag-design challenge na siya pala sa simula.
Kasi pride ko as a creative crafty queen, sabi ko talaga, hindi ako pwedeng pumasok sa Drag Race nang walang kahit isang baon na ako mismo yung gumawa. So, I took that on myself.
Sobrang poetic na yung ginawa mo pa mismo was basically, it ended up winning a badge.
So, since it was also my concept, and yung concept ko that was a superhero, I had this idea to make a supervillain. Because it was two looks. So, sabi ko, let's go for supervillain. And then, parang nakahanap nga ako ng materials in the contrasting color. My first idea was parang, if the other one is like sex queen, the other one is dapat parang CEO atake. Pero, time, resources, what have you, umabot ako sa parang like baddie aesthetic na lang. So from the start of the creating the look, naisip ko na talaga yung connecting storyline.
Okay. And now, nung nagsisimula na maggawaan yung mga bading, of course, I'm not sure kung nag-hyper-focus ka or meron ka pa ring soft focus sa mga nangyayari around you in terms of yung development ng pieces ng ibang girls. Girl. Pero, like, how was that like? This tipong, may kilala kang mga magaling mag-design doon, like UD was there. How, talagang tinitingnan mo ba? Or yun nga, like, take me through that.
So ako, like, in the process, ang pinaka nag-stand out sa akin were Versex, UD, and Kiana. Versex kasi talagang ang dami, hinanap niya talaga lahat ng CDs and was making it into paillettes, which I thought was such a clever idea. And then nakikita ko na yung kay UD na she was building this gigantic like axe arm silhouette.
Nakakatakot siguro yun sa gawaan portion.
Oo. Parang, confident naman ako sa concepts ko and everything. But whenever I see someone attempting to do a big silhouette, and ako, parang my drag aesthetic is not that. My drag aesthetic is not about like big sculptures. Na-intimidate talaga ako. May intimidation factor talaga. And then pati yung kay Kiana, nakikita ko na talagang halos evening gown na yung ginagawa niya with like pieces of like cardboard, as in parang packaging materials basically. Kinakabahan na ako na slide, pero alam mo yung kino-convince ko sarili ko na, and I'm being really smart right now. I'm being really clever with this storyline idea. Parang yun yung naisip kong edge ko in that moment na no one else is thinking about this. Everyone else is thinking about the fashion, the look, the aesthetic. I'm thinking about that and the story.
Ganon dapat, diba? Nanalo ng Rue badge si Bading. Ay, sorry, spoiler alert, nanalo po siya. Anyway, we also see in the edit na si Angel was driving the struggle bus.
Yes.
And I think dito makita natin early on yung talagang the kuya and kapatid storyline. Hindi pong gustong tulungan ni Maxi, pero of course, kailangan ayusin niya muna. Si Angel naman parang ayaw niyang tulungan siya ni Maxi kasi hindi laban natin to separately. So parang, for me, that was like greatly edited because we're really able to see, I think, how delicate the situation is para sa magkapatid.
Totoo yun. And I mean, for how parang siguro simple Maxi's look translated on the runway, medyo intricate yung pagpa-pattern niya ng colors nung damit niya. So,
may thoughts ako dyan later.
It was a lot of work then. I think a lot of us were doing a lot, but at the same time, at that point kasi, Angel was the light of the room. For our cast, it was si Angel tsaka si Versex, yung parang clowns namin eh. Sila yung pag-break time, sila yung may ingay, yung nagbabanter. Yung talagang sila yung, they were bringing the laughter. Angel and Versex were bringing the laughter in the room. So parang kami syempre, nakikita namin si Angel na nagsa-struggle. We were all kind of trying to pitch in. Ang dami-daming kinausap ni Angel for concepts, ideas.
Doon galing yung marami siyang naririnig na iba-ibang ideas.
As in, lumalapit siya sa amin, nilalapitan din namin siya to kind of pitch in. And even sa parang styling ng finished garment niya, parang lahat kami, ay, te, maganda to, suot mo to. Ay, te, parang, siya, it was almost like a team effort. But I mean, hindi naman natin madi-discount yung Maxi Angel sibling. Talagang may connection sila eh. May literal blood-related connection sila to each other na, alam mo yun, parang pag nagsastruggle yung isa, naramdaman ng isa.
Correct. And later, makita natin ang big dramatic payoff ng tawag dito ng breadcrumbs na ito, but we'll discuss that more. And then, of course, a big part of the story ng episode na to is your story and the playhouse and Eva La Queen story of it all. When you were in the moment knowing na parang, oh, I'm part of a bigger thing at play here because connection with Eva, with Ovi, little more context on that.
Sa edit, ako lang nagsalita, but it was a much bigger conversation in the room. Parang everyone kind of pitched in their thoughts. Kasi alam mo yun, lahat kami drag artists. Lahat kami, syempre, sumali kami ng drag race, gusto naming ma-validate, di ba?
Correct.
Like, girl, a drag queen that does not want validation, I'm not sure if y'all exist, but if you do, like, more power to you. But drag queens love validation.
Hindi ako drag queen, pero gusto ko rin po ng validation.
Diba?
But going back,
masakit yun makita. Just plainly as a drag artist, to see someone be put down on national television was very painful to watch. But I think they focused on me kasi it was more so apparent for me na, ayun nga, I always say na, I started doing drag during the pandemic. And one of the first few immersions ko into like the drag community, the drag industry, were at Zoom parties ng Drag Playhouse. And from there, parang unang pasok ko pa lang, unang event pa lang nila, they were already praising me. They were already showering me with praise na we love your aesthetic, we love what you bring. Kumbaga parang, even though mag-isa ako nagdadraga sa kwarto ko for the majority of my first year doing drag, nagkaroon ako ng support system, which was Drag Playhouse. And it was so, in the past 2 seasons, it was so painful to watch yung taong nag-angat sa'yo. Literal, the people that have supported you being put down on a national, global scale like that. Ang sakit niya makita. And siguro parang, when it dawned on me, nung na-realize ko na, ito yung category because of my drag family, nagkaroon ako ng parang extra fire sa akin na hindi. Kailangan kong i-redeem to. Kailangan kong gawin to para sa kanila.
Yeah. And look at the synchronicity of it all, diba? You just won your Rue batch this week and then Eva's premiere week sa Global All-Stars. I mean,
things could not have turned out any better.
That's all Papa God in motion, guys.
Yes.
So talagang, wow. So thank you for sharing that.
And then now, let us bring it to the runway of the second part of episode 2 of Drag Race Philippines Season 3, the Trashon category. But let's just give praise to Mama Pao first.
This look of Mama Pao, I think
it's inspired.
It's timeless, it's modern, it's sexy, it's opulent, it's
very Filipina with a modern twist.
It's fashion, diba?
Girl.
I really, really love this look from Mama Pao.
And for me, I love the dress. But for me, it was people have said something about the husky eyes. But for me, it was the eyes. Like the piercing white eyes. And then this hair that kind of just like hangs over her eyes a little bit. That is like the cherry on top of the cake for me. Kasi it just brings more mystery into the allure. Wow! Just brings more mystery into the allure of this look.
Correct. You know what they say? The eyes are the windows to the hole.
Oh.
Yes. Let's move on na sa ating runways. Okay, ito ang kanilang design made sa workroom using unconventional materials where they try to turn trash into treasure. Or trashon.
So, up first on the runway is Angel. As sabi nga ni Jiggly, Miss Retaso. Ano ba? What can we say that the judges have not said about this?
Hindi ko alam kung ako lang to or dahil talagang for me, Angel can do no wrong. But,
she sells.
She sold, I guess dun ako nadadala. Kasi I was about to say, I don't think this was bottom worthy, but when I tried to just really marinate on why I said that, it's really the way she sells a garment. She sells seashells by the seashore.
And girlie niya, para mas marami pa siyang buhok kesa outfit, the way she's selling. As in talagang benta. And if I remember correctly, boots ko yata yan.
Boots mo ba to?
Oo, yata. Ako yata yung nagpira na anyway. Like, girl, basta Angel is selling whatever she brought and whatever like everyone in Maxi pitched in.
She is also selling what might just be your boots, diba? Okay.
Like, basta Angel's confidence is unshakable.
Yep.
Girl, she knows she had the worst look. Aware siya doon. Pero kung ilakad niya, parang, tangina, bilhin niyo to.
And
ganda na ito, di ba?
Natutuwa lang ako kasi sinabi ko nga sa pod last week na Angel still has like one of the strongest Becky and Men debuts sa viewing parties namin. Meron siyang ease and very powerful innocence and charm on stage. I'm so happy na nakukuha siya ng camera sa Drag Race. Kasi talagang, that doesn't always happen, diba? Yung natural charm mo in the room, pwede siya makuha ng camera. Pero ito, I feel like it precisely captures her X Factor, her magic.
Up next, we have Tita Baby, a vision in blue and silver. And honestly, again, it wasn't, sorry, hindi ko alam kung, baka bias talaga ako, but
hindi ko naman makita masyado yung detalye. So I guess as a hindi naman talaga drag queen, I think this was fine, you know. She's a Judy Jetson hooker, a popular term nung season 3 ng US, and nabenta rin niya.
As much as we would love to be objective about everything, we can't help that we do have relationships with these people, but at the same time, we're critiquing the show as we see it.
Correct.
And also, like, I'm talking about it from my point of view, from my experience. And girl, honestly, Tita Baby ate this runway.
Yes! And ano ba yung comments sa kanya ng judges na parang parts of it were unfinished? Na parang, that was one critique, I think, from the judges. But other than that, I think this was fine.
Yeah, girl, as in, she was giving you the sexy Tita Baby.
Correct. Oh my God. Up next, motherfucking
the reaction in the room during the viewing party to this look, everyone just gas.
And yung paglapit niya sa runway, tapos yung camera, nilalapitan siya. Oh my God.
And for me, the pièce de résistance to this look was her makeup and her hair and her... I mean... The way that you painted softer for this, because it's such an edgy look to kind of contrast but still complement the look. The face card. But yeah, I mean,
it's insane. I mean, alam ko ikaw yung nanalo ng challenge and may mga tao nagsasabi, my God, Yuri was robbed. Gets ko naman yung point nila. Kasi grabe.
In the moment then parang, I mean, I'm very happy that I won. I'm glad that I won.
I'm happy
and
you
I know I won for a reason. Like, basta sinabi na ng judges. Charot. But this look like gave me anxiety.
Yep.
Like, as in talagang,
I'm sure.
Kinabahan ako na parang, oh, she might be taking this one. Because girl, like that fucking axe arm, and she...
What is this axe arm made of?
It's a cardboard base with like parang retaso red velvet and black like tapos sabay namin sinispray paint ni Yudi sa labas yung looks namin together.
Aww.
Basta parang it's always, even to me, even like having come from the show, it's always a mystery to me that the girls always have the same amount of time.
And yet other people are able to deliver just something otherworldly because oh my freaking God. Up next, we have Popstar Bench. Okay, this one I feel like was really not... It looked like the materials were made from unconventional materials, but I feel like Bench delivered such a strong runway look. Last week, a strong entrance look. Yung round 1 niya kanina sobrang strong. And for me talaga, like, big drop for me itong look niya na to.
Yeah, this was safe. I think, you know... it's an unconventional materials design challenge. If you're not super confident with working with unconventional materials, you go for a silhouette that works for you, which is smart. I mean, like, why would you... Parang it's hard to risk on a design challenge a silhouette that you don't know you can execute well. And since she had to make it herself, she did the Drag Race thing of gluing shit onto a corset.
Well, I mean the outfit, I don't feel like it is the one, but the styling though, after the styling looks really, really good. Like just blacks and silvers. Malinis pa rin siya. So, I'm sort of taking back what I said kanina, maybe the garment, hindi ko masyadong feel, but I think styling-wise, it's still very much a serve. Yeah.
It's very much like a good, solid safe. Parang she definitely can't be clocked for that look.
Up next, we have from the Ming Dynasty, J. Quinn.
So kami ni J. Quinn yung magka-table when we were doing our looks. And she found this like Chinese newspaper amongst the pile of trash. And she really honed in on that. Kasi nga her whole like drag persona and drag branding is very much like East Asian, Southeast Asian flavored. And when she saw that, sinabi niya agad sa akin, ay girl, I'm gonna go for Chinese silhouette, parang Crown Princess Azula fantasy. And I mean, she gave this look, and in the room, people were also quite impressed with the silhouette that she brought, that she was able to bring this like horn shoulder moment. I heard reactions in the crowd of when she came out. And then Shoegate.
Shoegate happened. Shoegate happened, and you know what? She didn't care. She was still gonna walk down that runway. She was still going to sell the garment. And you bring up a very valid point. I think J. Quinn is smart enough to know that she needs to bring a different kind of silhouette every week. And I think that's a sign of someone who, you know, has great agency of their visual expression.
Say what you will about the personality that has been depicted so far on the edit of the show of my sister, but if you look at this look objectively, it was a well-made look. It has structure, it has an idea, it has a concept, and it wasn't, aside from Shoegate, it wasn't falling apart. But you know what?
Yun siya. But I think safe pa rin. I think for me, tama naman yung pag-assign sa kanya ng judges na safe. I think overall, we didn't really see a train wreck. I think sa design challenge na to. So I think that's also one thing
and
we're taking note of.
I'll leave it to the Nancy Drews of the Drag Race community to kind of deduce
the ganaps.
Runway.
Yes, up next, we have Maxi. Okay, sabi ni Maxi sa Untucked na hindi siya makapaniwalang sinabi ni Jiggly na hindi to very Maxi, because I think it is very Maxi. I've seen Maxi kind of perform a number of times in this particular silhouette. I saw that. Having said that, maganda, I think ang nagsabi nun was si Raho na unfortunately for Maxi, ginajudge siya sa mas mataas na standard because si Maxi na siya. So I guess baka dun yung tipong they're pushing her really hard.
Ako, for me, I think it was more of the silhouette.
Okay.
The craftsmanship is there. Like, girl, the way she patterned those strips of fabric na talagang meron siyang, para siyang may sensible pattern eh. And yung braiding sa harap, there's craftsmanship in this look. It's just, I mean, it's shit glued onto a corset, but there's no, kumbaga, walang added silhouette eh. And like I mentioned myself, we added a shoulder. We added a thing on the hip. Parang, she couldn't get away with it being a corset because it was just a corset.
Gets naman.
But I mean, it was also mixed critiques eh. Parang, it's still kind of unclear to me to even after watching the episode, whether Maxi was
bottom or safe.
Yeah,
sa akin na hindi clear. But
because there were 7 girls. There were 7 girls in that lineup.
Up next, we have John Fideliaga na medyo bumavariant din siya ng color combos nung kay Maxi in a bit, no? Oh. I think for me, she looks way shorter than she is.
Yeah, parang I think she had, the retazos were a little too long on her and the hips were a little too big on her. But I mean, overall, it's a safe look. Parang there's not much bad to say about it.
Correct. You can see though na pinagugulan niya ng oras at ng maraming effort to na pinag-isipan. So I guess you gotta give points for that. But again, this was a safe look. Yeah.
And her personality was selling.
Up next, Zimba Ding. When I saw this, I was like, wow. Did this, scare you a bit when nung nakita mo nung natatapos yung ginagawa ni Tina?
Nung nakita ko na siya, when it was just a corset, parang hindi ko pa masyado napansin eh. When she started building that skirt, I was like, I told her specifically, sabi ko, girl, this looks like it could come off a Supreme runway.
Yeah. Ang ganda.
If I see this in a Supreme runway show, in a Supreme collection, sometimes when I would not be surprised. Because this is just very like, Supreme the brand.
Correct. And nakakatuwa kasi the styling is also, hindi niya short-change yung styling. Like, ang ganda-ganda nung ginawa niya, pero styling-wise, it was really like full fantasy. Great job for look number 2, Zimba. Up next, we have Kiana. Again, deserve naman ang pagpe-place ng top sa look na to. And ang ganda rin kasi niya because nag-provide ng variety si Kiana for look number 2. Look number 1 was very much, rock and roll.
Edgy,
theater drama.
This one's more like edgy but in a couture, in a John Galliano way.
Correct. And mas feminine, mas malambot.
Correct.
So parang feeling ko, iba rin yung dinisplay na variety ni Kiana. And this queen, like very smart.
The way that she was able to use her Rue badge on her outfit. Tapos, the story of when she had the whole, the shoulder thing with the CDO to Manila na parang, she is the package. Like, she is literally the full package. Like,
Ganon.
literally dressed as a package.
Strong night for Kiana. Up next, we have Versex. Okay, because I am not a fashion girl. BJ and Rahul love this look. I don't know how I feel about it yet, pero siguro as the drag queen and the visually inclined, ikaw na lang siguro magsalita.
No, wait, I want to get your opinions first, just like as a viewer, as a consumer of the show, what did you think and feel about this? Kasi ako parang, as someone that's kind of inclined to fashion then I fully got this. But ikaw muna.
Ako, ang nakuha ko sa kanya when it was walking down the runway, ito siguro yung sinasabi ng mga fashion people na it's fashion, kaya hindi ko to alam. Yun yung nakuha. Parang,
okay.
Ito yung siguro sinasabi nila kasi hindi ko siya fully ma-comprehend. And, yeah, that's my opinion.
Ako, it was giving very Paco Rabanne. I love the inventiveness of using the CDs as paillettes. I love the whole styling na it's resort wear but kind of like cyberpunk.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
Cyberpunk resort wear, and then yung styling pa ni Versex na she gave this like very edgy short. I don't know, like, I'm living for this. I lived for this in the moment. I think it was in this episode na parang they asked me who I thought were the tops in the group. I mentioned Versex as one of my tops kasi parang I think her looks are very inventive. And, I guess there's a double-ended sword to being inventive na parang on one hand, it might be like an innovation, something new, something fresh. But at the same time, it can be something that people might not easily get.
Correct. Baka andun ako sa kabilang, sa latter side na yon.
Parang very divided yung comments kay Versex on this specific look.
Having said that, I wish the judges parang took note of Versex's walk. Because I think the walk for me, I recognize it enough that I think we're seeing somebody here who really knows how to walk the runway and is able to just really serve in the dictionary sense.
And the things she wears onto the runway are not the lightest things, girl. Medyo mabibigat yung mga dala niya. Okay, so up next is myself.
Up next,
welcome to
Nyx Chanel. I mean, this for me is an outfit na it just keeps getting better the more you look at it. And of course, I say that with complete bias. No, but I mean, first of all, like, the reason why I like this really is because it's made from trash. Diba? Parang you're able to see that, and then we're able to see a silhouette na dramatic, na medyo over the top naman. But of course, definitely, you were able to just outsmart the category by clinking this with your first look and really making an overt link nun by putting the head of Miss Supernova Mix / Mountain Dew sa isang bag ng basurahan.
As a student of the game, as someone that has been like watching Drag Race and trying to himay or like the good and the bad of being a Drag Race contestant, it's always a plus to lean into the category. It's always a plus na parang they can see what materials you're working with and then delivering it into something. Correct. That's really good.
Literal pero elevated.
Parang if they're gonna give me trash, I'm gonna give you the baddest bitch of trash, the baddest bitch of basura. Drag is always about one of the reasons why I choose character-oriented, character-based drag is it's always about the presentation. It's to me always about what personality does this outfit make me want to display? And in that moment, I really felt like the most untouchable, baddest supervillain ever. And knowing na parang in the story, I triumph over the other character. Yun talaga yung sabi ko, parang I killed it. Literally. Yep. In a literal sense, I killed it. Yun yung pakiramdam ko doing this display. And I'm just very happy and proud of what I was able to put out given the short amount of time.
I love this. I mean, nung medyo parang inupuan mo pa yung muka nung Supernova Mix, it was just so but I feel like that is just the perfect word to describe what I am feeling towards the creation right now. And then, I mean,
getting to this day, it still lives in my mind and my dreams rent-free of just getting that soundbite. Getting that soundbite of being called, slightly emotional. Getting that soundbite of being called the smartest and one of the most beautiful faces on Drag Race. It just, that level of validation. Parang you can tell me na, okay, canceled na yung franchise today. Parang ako, okay na ako.
Nasabihan ka na ng maganda kang talino.
like, the way that Raho puts it into words na, honestly, Raho was very sweet on set. Raho was very pleasant on set. Like, even I was, like, very pleasantly surprised with how, parang he's such a teddy bear. And the way that he worded it na parang it's such a very dangerous combination. In that moment, I was just trying to... I was absolutely just trying to holding back my tears of, like, just being overwhelmed with how good that made me feel.
You deserve it. I mean, you really do deserve it. I mean, we've been fans of the show for so long. We've made careers out of it. And for you to get, you know, like, one of the greatest highs of being on Drag Race, which is winning a signature challenge, yung bolyo na panalunan mo, I'm very, very happy that you got that. And I'm glad that they gave you your flowers. Talagang the judges and also the editors were incredibly generous in just giving you your flowers for that episode. And you know, if hindi ka, kung gusto mo na mag-retire sa Drag Race, pwede ka maging guidance counselor, pwede ka maging psychologist, pwede ka na ata maging
dictionary, calculator.
Pwede ka ng referee dahil, pwede kang barangay tanod kasi dinefed mo sa UDPOTA. So, di ba? Si Drag Race, ang dami niyang in-open up na opportunities for you, dear. So, di ba?
Yeah. And, okay, so before we get to, like, the result, let's talk a little bit about the Untucked.
Okay, yes.
That Untucked, you know, our season is providing the Untucked.
Correct.
Like,
so,
the Untucked experience.
Let's just paint a picture here. So, Untucked, of course, first of all, John, thank you for being courageous enough to share your story. Wow, and the way I think also the way the show edited that sequence was very respectful and delicate. Silences were kept parang deliberately. So thank you rin to the Drag Race editors for editing that sequence
Kumbaga,
with
like,
such a love.
We know naman, like, most things are cut down for the interest of time, for the interest of the runtime of the show. But they've truly kept John's voice in that story. Na parang kwento niya to. Everyone else is just here to listen and absorb kwento niya to. And it was given that much respect. And then, from that, umabot tayo sa aliens.
Umabot tayo sa aliens, sa Hollow Earth, na perfect yung sinabi ni Zimba, basically. Alam mo, go, you do you. Kung naniniwala ka dyan, go. Ako naniniwala ako kay God. And you know what? That's great because sabi nga ni Gia Gunn, I guess there's just room for everybody. Let's just say that.
Yeah. And I know my sister, and I'm not surprised that this is part of her, you know, realm of interest. But ang pinaka nakakagago sa akin, we came back from the runway, walked into the Untucked lounge, and this was the first topic of conversation na narinig ko na parang, bakit tayo umabot dito?
Umabot tayo sa
Kasi
alien.
sabi ko talaga, bakla, paano lumabas to sa'yo? Gago ka ba?
Pero yon, at least diba, just like that, nanganak ang mga bagong, pinanganak ang mga bagong J-Queen stands. But we have to talk about, of course, the mix Chanel of Untucked. Basically, let's just paint the scene here. Zimba was edited to kind of trying to stir the pot with Yudi, saying na parang bottom-worthy yung look niya. Yeah. And like, so why do you think nasa top yung, I'm not sure kung yun yung exact words si Zimba, but basically trying to just say na parang, parang bakit mo sa tingin na maganda yung look mo? And then, si Mix agad doon, hold up!
Kasi nga, I mean, at that point, I didn't know I had won yet. But I also got the critiques na. So parang I felt good. Parang no matter the turnout, I felt really good about the moment. And I'm not that delusional. I knew who I was competing with in the top for the win. And for me, deserve nila. Like, Kiana and UDPOTA really put on, sila yung parang kaming tatlo yung like overwhelmingly positive critiques. And they really put on a good showing. And ako, like, I'm aware of what's going on. I keep track records in my little journal. When I get back to the hotel room, ito yung nangyari, ganyan. Parang in my mind, alam ko na kaming tatlong nasa top. We've been in the top the second week in a row. And you know, the story of the Untucked from the previous episode. And then, talaga, parang I was really kind of over it with people underestimating people. Especially underestimating people that have earned their keep. Tapos talagang, nung sinungarin ko yun, nagpintig talaga yung tenga ko na parang, do you not see the material?
Correct.
Are we not looking at the same thing? Dun talaga ako na parang, I had to step in kasi parang, I was fully living for UDPOTA's look.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can you
discount
where is this coming from?
I'm not sure invalidate if invalidate is the term. Pero parang how can you question it when, you know, the judges are basically saying, even yung people on set are saying that basically one of the stronger ones in the cast.
Yeah, kumbaga parang in that moment, I was really like, where is this coming from? Is this coming from... Inaisip ko talaga, in my head talaga in that moment, sabi ko, is this coming from because she's so quiet? And I'm like, kasi, I did know a little bit of UD Pota before coming into the show. So I know what she's like. I know, kumbaga, parang where UD's personality is. And ako, parang, I am quite introverted at times. I am quiet around new people, new environments. Naiintindihan ko yung timpla ni UD na parang right now, she's not being the loudest in the room. Pero kasi, andun yung talino niya. Kitang-kita mo yung talino niya. Kita mo yung galing niya. And in that moment, parang ako, so di porket ba hindi siya maingay about it? Di porket ba she's not braggadocious? Braggadocious! About like her personality? Is that grounds already to discount a well-performing queen? So yun lang, parang ako kasi, I'm a competitor as much as everyone, but when I see someone doing good, I have to give them their flowers kasi parang ako, when I get my flowers, I want to be celebrated. When I have my moment, I want to be celebrated. So, for me, it's like karmic energy. I want to celebrate people that are doing well. And I want to be clear about that, na hindi ako dito to put people down in a delusional way. Parang, if she's doing well, let's tell her she's doing well because she is.
Correct. And then nakakatawa lang din because we got confessionals from Zimba saying, parang medyo nagsisi siya sa very short question na sinabi niya because parang, parang nagkamali ata ako.
What I will give to my sister, what I will give to Zimba is, she doesn't always mean to stir the pot. Zimba just has this endless curiosity.
Endless curiosity is a great way to put it.
May mga questions siya na she just has to blurt out in the moment.
Correct, diba?
May mga ganun siyang curiosities na parang pag naisip niya, bakit ganito yung ganito? Ilalabas lang niya. And it's not really necessary na parang, so bakit sa tingin mo ganyan yung ganito?
So at least walang malice naman.
Oo, may ganun si Zimba eh.
Okay. So yun nga, on top this week, we have Kiana and UD. At ang nanalo po ng Rubadge ay si...
God.
Manila Luzon lookalike Mix Chanel.
Marikina Luzon, ladies and gentlemen.
Marikina Luzon. I mean, the badge, mama.
Girl.
I'm touching the badge.
Girl, ang tagal ko tong tinago. Honestly, alam mo yung parang tinago ko siya sa, as in like, corner of my room at home. Kasi, pag nakikita ko siya, I beam with so much pride na parang gusto ko na lang siyang ilabas at any moment. Pero, NDA.
Palakpakan natin, she is now 80,000 pesos richer. Oh my God, will go down in the history books as the winner of Season 3's ball. And that is absolutely amazing, spectacular, magnanimous, adjectives pa. Lovely, nice, beautiful.
Never been done before.
Delightful.
Bus, next bus, airplane.
So congratulations, Mix Chanel. And then
Thank
of course,
you.
after that, we get into a very dramatic sequence. Basically, it is declared na Tita Baby and Angel will be lip-syncing for their lives. And of course, another big story this episode is that the magkapatid of it all. Diba? Angel, during the critiques with your guest judge, is still able to make comedy gold. So, just makes this lip-sync for your life more heartbreaking.
And how Angel was with the judges is ganun si Angel.
Ganun siya. Yeah.
Ganun siya. Ganun siya sa amin, ganun siya sa backstage. So parang, ayun nga, nakita nyo na revelation to me na hindi pala ganun kadilim sa likod of the main stage. You can see us all crying, very emotional in this moment. Kasi on one hand, we have the very beloved and loving Tita Baby. But on the other hand, we have the light of the room, ang aming babae tonight, today, and tomorrow.
Ang bunso nyo, parang ganun, diba?
Parang yung baby girl namin, as in talagang Angel lights up a room.
Yep.
Angel lights up a room. So alam mo yung, just the emotion of, you don't know where to look, you don't know where to watch, you don't know who to support. Hindi siya yung parang nawala lahat eh. In that moment, it became very real to us. It was the first lip sync for your life. Mm-hmm. It was the first, we thought, would be the first elimination. Talagang we were all just heartbroken to see. We were getting quite close as a cast at this point already. But alam mo yun, two of the people that you're closest to, lip syncing.
Masakit yun.
Yeah. And we were all crying. And then of course, yun nga, parang katabi ko pa si Maxi. So parang naramdaman ko yung naramdaman niya na kapatid niya yun eh. At wala siyang magagawa right now para protektahan, para depensahan si Angel eh. So, it was very emotional moment for all of us. And Angel's speech, yung monologue natin, that went on for way longer.
I mean, tinawag na si Tita Baby, but then I was like, para makakakuha tayo ng Miss Jade So type of monologue.
Miss Vanjie.
Miss Vanjie, na parang, grabe, kasi parang, pinangunahan niya na si Mama Pao, di ba?
Angel was giving the moment. Angel was really giving the moment. At dahil dyan, Shantae, you stay din si Bakla. At kaming lahat, in that moment, parang, oh my God, wala pa umuwi! Pero syempre, moving forward, ay, baya, wala umuwi.
Pero grabe yung moment niya, especially nung lumapit na si Maxi.
Yeah.
Talagang yung mga tao, naiyak talaga sila. Kasi, wala yun talaga yung competition And parang nag-agree silang magkapatid na ilaban natin to individually. And that for a moment there, it came at the cost of, Angel going home. But buti na lang hindi. Really excited to see what Angel has to offer because, we've seen this on Drag Race before, yung mga nadodouble Shantae. Parang the worst has already happened and they're able to kind of have a second life at the game. So we see them really just come back with such excitement and zest for the competition. I have a feeling baka ganun yung mangyari kay Angel. So I'm really excited to see how everything unfolds.
And on that note, we are now moving on to our interview with today's lip sync assassin. This episode's lip sync assassin, Tita Baby. And of course, going back to our tradition of having interviews with the cast para hindi puro ako yung pinapakinggan nyo.
Or puro ako ang pinapakinggan nyo.
Correct. Andito today sa kanyang campaign sa pagiging chairman. Of course, we have Tita Baby.
Magandang hapon sa'yo, Baus.
Magandang
hapon sa'yo, Mix.
So right
Tandaan
now,
nyo sa 2025.
Correct.
Namimili po ba kayo ng boto? Kasi marami, kailangan po.
Magpapabili po ako ng boto.
Correct.
Bote na absolute.
Bote na absolute, correct. So, as of filming, it hasn't even been 24 hours that the episode is out. Siguro I want to ask you, how are you? How is the reception? What are you feeling right now? Maliban sa paos.
Oo. Namamalat ako because pag nagsiscream din yung fans during viewing parties, di ba, nararamdaman mo rin yun. Nakikisigaw ka rin sa kanila. Pag naiiyak sila, naiiyak ka rin.
Correct.
So, how am I? I'm tired but very, very happy. Very, very excited for what's to come. At saka, parang yung reception or yung feedback ng fans online, they DM me, ganon. Parang a lot of them can relate pala to me. Akala ko parang paso na ako. Alam mo yun?
Hindi, may asim ka pa. Okay, diba? Mas maasim ka pa ata sa sinigang ni Mix.
Correct.
Sabi nga ni Mix kanina, daming emotions. And you did the very first lip sync for your life of the season. I mean, also, that's another parang feather on your cap. Okay, but in that moment, because technically kayo ni Angel yung guinea pig ng season, di ba? Na parang paano ba yung mangyayari sa lip sync for your life? What do you remember, if you even remember anything from it?
I was conflicted.
Okay.
To say the least. Kasi gusto ko i-lip sync yung Nosy Balasi.
Oh.
Pero ayoko mag-lip sync, di ba?
Correct.
Oo, kasi parang, counterintuitive yun. So, kalaban niya isa't isa. So, parang sabi ko, bahala na. Pero actually, when I was feeling like Nosy Balasi was the lip sync choice, it's like, shit. Baka nga ako to.
Nahunan ko itong mga ito.
Alam ba nila to? Alam ba nila to? Baka ako lang kalabang ko rito, sa totoo lang.
But yes, so the design challenge, I mean, it was shown na, that you struggled. But take us through that struggle. Because sabi sa edit, you only had 4 hours. So like, how was that like?
Nakakaloka. Kasi maliban sa mina-manage ko yung rayuma ko, parang I had to manage my emotions. It's not so much about the struggles of probably some queens. Where do I start? What do I do? How do I bring out my branding in my design? Ganyan di ba yan yung mga challenges when you're given a design challenge. But for me, I knew what I wanted to do Pero it's the time lang talaga doon nang galing yung I don't know if that's something that you've experienced. Yung, oh my God, wala naman kaming relo doon.
Correct.
Paano ko malalaman kung ano yung oras na, ilan ang lumilipas? Glugan lang ang katapat ko, di ba? At saka parang basura. Parang, anong gagawin ko? So, alam mo, I was there. I was so focused that I think the other queens were thinking si Tita Baby so stressed. Kasi even J Queen was like saying, si Tita Baby mo ko nagsistruggle. I heard. Wala akong pakialam sinasabi mo dyan, J Queen. Gusto mo barilin kita nito? Hindi. So yun. So for me, parang, it's about the time constriction.
Tsaka
Na doon galing lahat ng stress ko.
Actually, I remember ang chaotic, sobrang chaotic ng workroom na maliban sa ang kalat ka, as in mukha kaming smoky, literal na trash siya kasi mukha kaming Smoky Mountain.
Hinahatching tayo at saka inuubo sa alikabok.
So nakita niyo yung heap ng mga basura dun sa cart. Imagine that na lahat sila nakabulat-lat. That's what the workroom looked like. Na as in chaos siya. And magkatapat kami ng table nung gumagawa. Pero talagang parang may kanya-kanya kaming mundo sa paggawa ng looks. Kasi it was so chaotic and frantic. Siguro moving on to like the judges' critiques. You know, naglakad tayo ng first runway and we presented our looks that we made sa workroom. Ano yung mga critiques na tatandaan mo in the moment and how are you feeling nung narinig mo yung mga yun?
So for my sari-sari look, I remember distinctly si BJ was commenting on details.
Yes.
Kasi syempre, he has this eye for detail.
Mm-hmm. Actually, yes. Oo.
Dahil alam ko kami lang naman magbibihis sa isa't isa sa loob. Wala naman akong alalay doon. Diba? Hindi tulad sa mansion namin. Pinalagay ko yung zipper sa harap. So,
para mas efficient.
Correct. Oo. Para lang siyang jacket. Susuotin mo.
Ito yun actually kinulayan lang niya itim.
Sinindihan ko siya. And then, yun yung napansin for the first dress. But interestingly, I felt really good doing my runway wearing that, kasi I was confident. Sabi ko, ang ganda ko dito. It's a brilliant idea, keme-keme. Although, meron yung dapat signage sa ulo na yung tindahan, sari-sari store signage na hindi ko nahanap.
You brought it with you?
Yes, I brought it with me. Hindi ko siya nahanap because nga, again, of the time constriction. Yes. Sabi ko, sige, bahala na.
When they said Drag Race is a race talaga siya. As in, we cannot divulge too much into why, but also parang we cannot stress enough na Drag Race is a race.
Totoo yun. So, it's a sprint. Really, no? And pagdating sa critiquing nung first outfit ko, I was like, oh my God, na-devastate ako kasi I was more confident than that than the one that I made.
Okay.
Kasi yung ginawa ko, bows, supposedly, di ba pa CEO nga ang dating ng tita mo. Dapat may pencil skirt yun. Dapat may pencil skirt yun.
Yung mga pencil skirt na hindi nangyari.
Di ba? Kasi hindi pala ganun kadali gumawa ng pencil skirt. Meron pala siyang specific pattern.
So, ang original vision mo pa talagang full CEO fantasy talaga.
CEO fantasy.
Actually, align kami doon na yung original vision ko din. Parang, I remember sa confession, sabi ko, yung tagline ko, sabi ko, naging baddest bitch eventually. Yung una ko idea, boss bitch. As in, gusto ko mukha siyang CEO ng Smoky Mountain din.
Yeah. And I'm sure, makaka-relate ka. There are a lot of times na because we were like living in a reality show, as in there were decisions that needed to be made on the spot.
Yeah.
So even my shoes, I was wearing boots, di ba? That was supposed to be like, pumps lang. Kasi nga CEO siya. Hindi ko na nagawa nga yung pencil skirt. Sabi ko, nako, kailangan ko na pala ihanda ang sarili ko sa mga more mature roles.
Which actually,
napilitan ako magtangga.
That's why I actually prefer your second look than your first because for me, it felt more playful. Na parang, ito yung tita mong may asim pa at gusto talagang manghalap ng boy sa BGC.
Although yun talaga ang pagkatao ko. Hindi yun ang plano ng outfit ko. Which I guess worked for my benefit. Na kapos ako sa oras. Diba? Kasi hindi na nabuo yung skirt. Even the judges liked my second outfit.
Ano siya? As in parang very 60s space age yung datingan mo doon
I brought like knee-high na silver boots. Tapos yung belt ko doon, alam mo yung lalagyan ng hotdog? Yun Kasi nga basura siya.
Correct,
Oo.
correct. Gets. I see it.
Tumerno sa boots. Mag-boots tayo. Baka ginawin ako, nakatangga na nga ako, tapos na ako. Di ba?
But then, you know, we live to slay another day.
Yes.
Diba? Pero eventually, I guess, after giving arguably the fight of your life sa Lip Sync for Your Life, and then si Angel ay Shante You Stay, the competitor in you, anong naramdaman?
Actually, gusto ko malaman yung emotional journey mo doon kasi parang kanya-kanya tayong may mga emotional journey in that moment.
Sige. So, mix. At that point, we were 2 weeks in, di ba? Doon pa lang kami nagiging close eh. Lalo na ako because I came from a different industry before I entered drag. And then now I'm in Drag Race. So parang most of them are acquaintances. Ang pinaka-close ko nga si Nick.
Yes.
Si Bench, I know Bench. Pero hindi, alam mo yun, working relationship siya.
Yes.
So 2 weeks down the line, di ba, I'm creating relationships with them. Tuntua ako kay Angel Baus. Tuntua ako kay Angel.
Kaya magkahawak kayo dun sa deliberations, di ba?
Totoo yun. Kasi nag-uusap kami, sabi ko, girl, lumabang ka, lalaban ako. Sabi niya, tita, bibigay ko sa'yo yung labang ko. Sabi ko, ganyan. Yun ang bulungan namin eh, nung magkahawa kami sa stage. Kasi sabi ko, baka isipin mo, may gout ako. Wala akong gout.
Nagkakamali ka, iha.
So, if you view the Untucked, yun ang biggest conflict for me. Kasi I was telling them on the side na parang, this is a situation, Lip Sync for Your Life is a situation that you don't wish to be in. Not because pwede ka maboot out. It's because it's a struggle between breaking your opponent's heart and dreams or yours. Who do you choose? Woo! Di ba?
Grabe.
Bata pa si Angel.
Correct.
Tsaka totoo yun na parang in those first few episodes, as in talagang Angel was the light of our room. Si Angel yung talagang, siya yung may pinaka-bubbly personality, pinaka-maingay, pinaka-banter naming lahat. Kaya napansin mo, lahat kami sa likod umiiyak. Lahat, everyone.
Kaya nung sinabing Shante You Stay, nanaig talaga yung joy.
That's good.
Nanaig talaga yung joy sa akin. Na parang, oh my God, next week,
ready ka lang
bibigay ko sa akin to Pero next week, hindi na.
It's nice that you mentioned na parang you're new to the scene. Kumbaga, ikaw yung tita na baby queen, basically. Diba? Siya yung baby queen. But marami kang confessionals, where you're quite introspective and reflective about like the age of it all. Yeah. I want to know more about it because the queens, I think, to them, yung age mo is not a big of a factor, but I think when you're on your own, it very much is an entity in your story.
Yes.
But so can you just share with us lang ano yung full context nitong mga very emotional confessionals?
Okay, that I'm sure this is not something new. You've heard this before, that they say age is just a number. And I believe that when I was probably your age and even younger. Parang age is just a number, kaya ko pa pumarty. Age is just a number, kaya ko pa do whatever I want. But when you reach a certain age, really, your spirit can be young. Your way of thinking can be young. But your body will start feeling something different. Diba? So parang, gusto ko ba mag-split?
Gusto mo.
Gusto ko mag-split.
Gusto
mo.
mo.
Nakatawan ko yun. Diba? Ng mga ligaments ko dyan. So, coming in, at a certain age, seeing them and knowing who they are, where they're from, I watch them when I go to O-Bar or Nectar or even when back days in Malate, I see some of these queens, bagets pa sila noon. And they can do the things that I can only dream of trying. So pag pumasok ka doon, sa circle na yon, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na kaya kong gawin yung kaya nilang gawin. Physically. Diba? So, may intimidation doon. Especially kung, Diyos ko, ako lang mag-isa dito, tapos parang 10 kayong bagets, iisa-isahin ko kayo para makuha ko yung corona. Baka nga, sa ospital na tayo mag-finale. Sa ospital na
tayo sa ICU mag-viewing party.
Sa ICU mag-viewing party, di ba? So, it's there in the back of my head. That I'm 46. I cannot force my body to do things that I want to, di ba? I mean, probably, it will take time, but not as good as Mix or the young ones. Diba? I cannot tumble dry. Doon magaling ako sa tumble drying. So, lagi kong nilalagay yung sarili ko in a perspective na they have the time of their life and I am at that stage na kaya ko pa naman, pero syempre, I have to look at it at a different perspective. I cannot become who they are. I cannot try to become who they are. I have to become whom I am. So, kailangan ko yakapin yung pagkatanda ko. Diba? Para mabawi ko naman lahat ng failures ko nung kabataan ko. Baus, yun. Diba? Yung mga, I'm sure, Mick, pagdadaanan mo yan, pinagdadaanan mo yan. Maraming mistakes, diba, in life.
So, parang as I always say nga, parang drag queens are, para tayong kotse. We're a depreciating asset. I mean, you can still drive, you can still run well, no matter how old the car is. But you will never be as good as a brand new car.
Tama, totoo yan.
The Mix Encyclopedia word of the day is depreciate. Yes. I hope you're still having the time of your life now, especially now that the season is airing. So, pag ikaw lang mag-isa now, like, how are you able to just, you just survive the lip sync for your life? People are loving you online. Ano yung cheerleader in you? Anong sinasabi niya sa'yo recently?
It's surprising that a lot of people, different ages to hindi lang. When I started Tita Baby, I thought magre-resonate ako sa kaedad ko. I thought makaka-resonate ako. Si Janie lang makaka-resonate sa akin. Di ba? Akala ko it's the titas and the titos of my age group who will resonate with me. Surprisingly and pleasantly, if I may say, sa Twitter, sa Instagram, even sa Facebook.
Even sa LinkedIn.
The young ones can relate to what I'm going through. Hindi pala siya, parang the struggles and the triumphs that I have are so universal, it goes beyond age. It goes beyond age. And doon ko lang na-realize, oh my God, kaya pala si Madonna nagpupumilit pang maging relevant.
Gets mo na ngayon.
Oo. Kasi, totoo yun. If what you see on screen, if you see me on screen, that was really who is struggling, the triumphs, the happiness, the sadness. Ako talaga yun. So, nakaka-relate yung tao pala doon. So, that's very meaningful for me. Hindi ako naiiyak, malat lang ako.
There's a lot more of the Tita Baby story to be told on the show. So, wag natin pangunahan yun. But for me, siguro nakaka-relate ka dito na having been on the show and now seeing it are two very similar but totally different experiences. Iba yung sense of self-pride na naramdaman mo when you get in. And iba yung naramdaman mo now that you're seeing yourself. I want to know what that's like from your perspective na ikaw, watching yourself perform. Anong naramdaman mo? What is like the voice of the younger Tita Baby in you ano yung sinasabi nun sa'yo?
Ang hirap ng tanong. Teka.
Go, shot ka muna dyan.
Parang nakaka-proud. Nakaka-proud na kaya sana mag-isip. So, iba talagang question. Nakaka-proud yun na cut nyo to
Hindi. This will go on the promo.
I am starting to see what those people who've always believed in me have seen ever since. And I'm just starting to see that now. So yun, kaya ako nakaka-proud. Pero I don't think I'm arrogant about it. I'm just,
no, not at all.
I'm just, shit. Kung if I were a different person, alam mo yun, I'd pat myself on the back and say, in fairness sa'yo, minom ka ng gamot.
Yung alta pressure.
Oo,
Yung
BP
Losartan mo, inumin mo na.
Oo. Kaya pa, meron pa. I'm half life, pero if I'm going to enjoy my life from now on forwards, kahit kalahati na lang. Kalahati na lang talaga yung na-assume ko, no? Baka mas maiksi. Push.
Love it.
Push.
Ganda.
So yun. Langya ka.
Hindi ako Ruger, so hindi ako pwede makiyakap. No, I love it that you say that because I think, as artists, yes, iba yung makita yung mga bagets sa competition, but also like you bring in a lot of life experience that can be a wealth of inspiration for your expression, and I think that's what we are seeing.
I hope so.
Diba? So now that you find yourself, parang, ito pala yung nakita ng mga tao sa akin dati, I'm sure you're dreaming new dreams now. Diba? So pag ganun, when you look into the future, like, ano yung gustong pangarap na kamitin ni Tita Baby these days?
Di nakapagtangga na nga ako, di ba? So you'll see me more in...
Parang next time, Tita Baby, naka-nipple tape na lang.
Ganun, Angel, Pa-fringe mo dyan. Mantay ka. Kantay ka. Charot.
Nahanap niya na ang asim niya, no?
Yeah, ako, I think, more of just being like a possibility for those who watch me. I think that's it.
Being a
I
possibility.
will be a possibility for those who watch me.
I am receiving that with my entire being. Wow.
Yun lang. Nothing more, nothing less. Ayoko na, gusto ko magkaroon ng mansion, meron na ako. So, charot. Diba? So, pero sana magkarubad siya ko, so abangan niyo yan.
Okay, yun na. May mga principal's office. Diba? Pero maraming salamat, Tita Baby.
Thank you, Mouse. Thank you so much.
You see, I feel it here. The bond that these two have, nag-iiyakan na sila. We have a show to finish, but I have to keep it together. But thank you so much. I'm really, really proud of you. I mentioned this sa podcast last week. Magkasabay tayo sa TikTok, nag-emerge. So just see you stand in the sun with Drag Race now. You deserve every bit of it. Enjoy this ride. And, I have a feeling the star that you have is just gonna keep shining brighter. So, maraming salamat.
Thank you. Thank you.
At matatagpuan niyo po si Tita Baby. Hopefully, hindi umiiyak sa aming episode 3 viewing party. So, maraming salamat, Tita Baby.
And of course, Tita Baby, where else can the baguettes and the titos and the titas follow you in the online sphere?
You can follow me on all my socials. I'm in TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Meron din po akong YouTube actually, no. Mabubuhayin natin 'yan. Ang hahanapin niyo lang po is Your Tita Baby. Kung meron pong tita na lumabas doon na hindi singganda ko, baka totoong tiyahin niyo 'yon. Ako po ang i-follow niyo, wag sila. Thank you.
Thank you, Tita Baby.
And that is it for our interview, Tita Baby. And that is it for the recap of this week's episode of Drag Race Philippines Season 3. Cheers muna tayo dyan. Thank you so much, Absolute.
Thank you,
Absolute.
Absolute Lounge.
Maraming salamat. So don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcast and Spotify. And yes, nasa YouTube nga rin pala kami, nakakalimutan ko. So like, subscribe. Ano bang sinasabi sa YouTube? Pahingi pera, ano ba?
Basta mag-comment kayo. Kahit
Share.
ano pa yan, engagement pa rin yan.
Correct. And maraming salamat, of course, to our partners. Absolute Vodka, Cream Silk for sponsoring this week's viewing party. And then, of course, Distillery here in BGC. Thank you, and we'll see you next week. Bye! Again, we want to thank Distillery in Uptown BGC for providing us a home sa aming Absolute Lounge for this episode.
And of course, for the lovely bar chow that we had. For reservations, if you want to, party here at Distillery, please message Distillery at the Distillery PH. That's TheDistillerYPH on Instagram.